Covenant must be trying to regroup. Don't let them.
Hey guys, it's Generalkidd here. How's everyone doing today? So, for today's video, we're going to be tackling the question of what happens if you let the Covenant regroup on the mission Outskirts. So, as you saw that clip at the beginning, when you're in the tunnel and you see those shadows driving down the tunnel, Cortana says the Covenant are trying to regroup, don't let them. Well, for this video, we're just going to be seeing what happens if we do let them regroup. So, on the mission Outskirts, as you're driving down a tunnel, eventually you'll get to that point with the shadows, and to put this to the test, I'm just gonna simply, follow them and see where they go. Because if you're like me, you probably just zoom right past them and just ignore the shadows. Or maybe like the first time I ever played Halo 2, like many years ago, I think back then I would actually follow them, but then shoot them with the ghost until they blew up, so that they never actually reached the rendezvous point. So this time, we're just gonna follow them. We're not gonna bother them much, and we're just gonna see what happens if we let them regroup at the rendezvous point. So they actually do go on for quite a while. The one at the front seems to go faster than the two in the back. In fact, the third one tends to fall behind a lot. But eventually, the second and third ones, they get caught up with each other, but the first one always kind of speeds away from the second and third. Now, eventually we will we'll get to this point here where the second and the third one will actually just come to a stop right here in the middle of the tunnel for no reason. So the second one stops and the third one catches up, and a lot of times the elite jumps out and gets crushed and splattered between the second and the third shadow, and it's actually pretty funny every time that happens. It happens quite frequently, or sometimes it doesn't happen, but sometimes the second one will actually be a little closer. I mean, the third one will be a little closer to the second one, and will end up rear-ending the second one. And I guess the elites don't care about getting out to exchange insurance information. Instead, they're more concerned with attacking Master Chief. But yeah. I don't know why they just stop here. I guess that's what they're scripted to, but they never actually make it to the rendezvous point. They never actually regroup. These two always stop here every time. It's just how they stop varies. Like I said, sometimes they'll stop perfectly. Sometimes the elite and the third one will crush himself between the two, and sometimes they'll just rear-end each other. And well, that's about it. And then they'll just stay here. But as for the first one did keep going on. So we're going to see if we can catch up to the first one now. The first one actually seems to function properly. And there it is. You can see it's still on its way, slowly but surely. And eventually it gets to the end of the tunnel. It goes to that door that's closed there and it stops. It turns around, and that's its final destination. The elite gets out. Will usually get into the ghost and try to attack you. And at this point, at this part, you'll have an extra turret and an extra ghost attacking you. So a lot of enemies, even on easy difficulty, if you let the first one regroup. But that's really the only difference. Only the first one regroups. So you're only adding a couple extra enemies to this part if you let the Covenant just do their thing. But you don't have to worry about the second and third one for some reason. I don't know if that's a bug, if Bungie never actually tested the all three of them making it to the final point. Because like I said at the beginning, if you're like me and a lot of other people, you probably just zoom right by them. And I feel like Bungie employees or Bungie devs at the time probably did that a lot too. They probably just zoomed by. Or maybe it is intentional and they're just stopping there to intercept Chief. But that would be assuming that Chief is really far behind them. So who knows why these two just stop here, but that's basically what happens if you let the Covenant, if you disregard what Cortana says and let the Covenant regroup. And the answer to that is that most of them don't regroup. Most of them never make it. Only one of the shadows actually makes it. So yeah, that's what happens there. And I've actually never really tried that until quite recently. I've always just speedrun that part, or in the early days, I would actually destroy all the shadows before they made it to that point. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and found it to be interesting. As always, if you did, make sure to leave a like, leave thoughts in the comments, let me know if there's anything else we check out or look into. But aside from that, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel to stay up to date with the latest videos, and I will see you all next time. Bye guys!